I'm Nic Pegg. Thanks for staying with us or joining us on After Dark. Joining me on the line now is City Missioner Matthew Mark. Good evening to you, Mark.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. The City Mission celebrated, was it 90 years of existence just recently?
We did, just a few weeks ago. So on the 9th of July, we celebrated 90 years of operating as the Christchurch City Mission.
I'm flabbergasted by the level of need in the city. We were speaking to the New Brighton Fridge and Pantry about 6 weeks ago, and that's Trudy Burrows, I believe. She told me they were feeding about 100 families a day, and you must be doing in excess of that at the City Mission there.
Yeah, we are. Through the last 12 months, we've actually handed out just over 38,000, or actually almost 39,000 food parcels. So food parcels being 4 weeks' worth of groceries for the average family.
38,000?
That's right, yeah.
Over what time period was that?
So that's over a 12-month period.
Goodness me, I can't do the maths quickly enough to work out how many a week that is. But is that just out of the Hereford Street mission, or is that outreach as well?
No, that's just out of our office in Hereford Street. And so we also do, in addition to that, we also support a number of other community organisations, such as Methodist Mission and a number of other community groups and churches and Housing First and the likes as well. So that's in addition to the 38,500 food parcels that we gave out.
Yeah, so that's 730 a week. Thanks, my producers just worked that out for me. Another 100 at the at New Brighton, and there must be, I think there's about another couple of operations, aren't there, out there doing this as well.
Yeah, look, we will use the food bank as litmus for the health of our community, and what we have seen is over the last couple of years we've had increases in excess of 20% year on year for demand in our food bank. So what that says is that we've actually got some fundamental issues that would need to be addressed or attended to within our community to help those who are most vulnerable.
That seems to correspond to the increased price of cigarettes year on year.
Well, yeah, look, I guess there's probably some correlation in there. We haven't necessarily drawn that same one. We just know that many more families, and we are seeing the lion's share of that increase has been working families. So we're just seeing that many more families are really struggling to make ends meet.
Right. Now, look, can we have a quick look at the role of the missioner? Because,
sure.
Normally mission is like spreading the word of, the word of God and what have you. But it seems to me that your role is a lot broader than that.
Oh, without a doubt. So my role is to ensure that we are advocating well for those in the community who are most in need and most vulnerable, but also making sure that we meet those immediate needs for those who are coming to us to seek help and support. And then looking at how do we actually make sure that we are able to influence societal change to ensure that people don't actually have to come back to us again. And so we're looking at it from a holistic perspective. How do we teach people how do we encourage people to engage with us, to be vulnerable enough to share the need that they have, and enable us and allow us to meet that immediate need with them, and then for us to be able to work with them to provide them with ongoing support and solutions for themselves so that they will be better in the long run as well.
Now, all of those things are obviously entirely consistent with Christian belief. Do you have a religious role as well, Matthew?
Yeah, look, from the City Mission's perspective, we are founded in the Anglican Church, and so we are a faith-based organisation. And that's the core of everything that we do from our day-to-day, and as part of our mission and vision statement. But that's not to say that we will only serve those who have a faith, or we'll only serve those who have a belief of some description. We are there for our community.
Could it, in fact, be a possibility, and there's no reason why you'd want to do this, but given what the City Mission does, could the City Missioner actually be a non-Christian?
Look, I think that you'd probably struggle to find someone who have a faith or a belief to sit in the space that I do within my day-to-day.
Yeah.
There is an innate aspect of the work that's undertaken within my role and all that it encompasses, which is far greater than what I've sort of described. That I guess means that you do need to have that underlying core faith in there as well.
Now, was it Canon Morell? He used to wear he looked like a vicar because he used to wear a wee dog collar and what have you. Do you eschew that? Do you wear a different kind of look these days?
No. Look, I'm just very much below average, and so you have a great deal of difference telling me apart from any one of those that we serve. This is one of our things as well.
Okay, now we've just seen some pictures come up on our screen here of the, I don't know if it's an annual appeal, but you put the brown bags into the supermarkets and people fill them up. Did you get a good response this year? Yeah,
that's our brown bag appeal. We run in the middle of it. We find that winter is particularly for many of our families and communities. And, particularly where they're having to make some very real choices around, do we pay the power, the rent, the petrol in the car, or do we put food on the table for the family? And often, unfortunately, the reality of having to make those decisions is that choice to put food on the table is one that is foregone. Or they'll, families will make a choice for mum and dad to go without food so the kids can be fed, for example. And so, it's a really important initiative for us to gain community support and engagement to support those in our community with need. So our food bank appeal goes out June, July period, and we have had some good support on it. We'd have to say that it hasn't met the immediate need that we have at the moment, but it has been quite heartening to see many of our contemporaries getting behind us.
Now, we just had one picture up which shows an absolute sea of plastic bags. So I'm just wondering how you're managing the transition away from plastic bags.
Actually, that's a really interesting one. It might be an old image that you've just pulled up there. So what we have done over the last 18 months is we've gone plastic-free as best as we're able to. And we've managed to do that in partnership, particularly with foodstuffs. And so foodstuffs has been really good at providing us with reusable bags and boxes and the like, so that we can actually issue food parcels out and product that is either recyclable or is able to be reutilised by those individuals who have received that support from us. We'd probably struggle to find a plastic bag that's sitting within many of our places operating at the moment.
I think I read recently that yourselves and Chumley Children's Home, are you finalists in the Champion Canterbury Awards?
We are indeed, yes. We are pitting against each other as one of the community impact of the Champion Award. And I have to say both, obviously I'm going to say we're a worthy surrogate as is Chumley. And we know the team there very well. We have a lot of interaction. We serve many of the same families. And so our everyday weeks as well. So really nice for them to be able to be recognised, as it is for ourselves.
Now it's cold now, but it's still a way to go. But when's your annual Christmas lunch that you do? This huge event?
Yeah, so that's actually on Christmas Day.
Oh, and, right, that's ages away.
So so look, we're actually prepping for it now, and so we're in the process of planning volunteers and. Us to take a day. Last year we served about 1,000 from our community, and we had almost 300 volunteers on the day as well. So our Christmas Day lunches are a really big part of ensuring that those who otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity or ability to be able to enjoy what most of us would probably just take for granted on Christmas Day, and that's made a reality by the support of our community.
How much does it cost in round numbers to run the mission in Christchurch a year? How big is this operation?
Yeah, look, I think it's probably far bigger and wider than what most people realise in respect to the aspects of work that we do into our community. So if we've got time, I'm very happy to go into this. Our overall budget is $7 million a year, and we receive $1.5 million towards our alcohol and other drug work, and then some small bits of funding from City Council for an outreach social worker to $100,000 a year for an outreach social mental health nurse, and also a little funding from MSD towards one of our programs. But we have to fundraise about about $5.4 million a year.
5.4 million. Where does that come from? Is it corporate donations, or how does that work?
No, that comes from everyday Cantabrians just like you and I.
Oh, okay. So when and how do people put money towards you? How's that done?
We have a fantastic supporter base called our Care Force, and they're our regular donors that donate to us on a regular basis. That might be regularly every week or every month or every year, but it's a regular donation from them. And that supports us for a portion of that, and then the rest of it comes through from us just being able to have the opportunity to be able to share within our community about some of the works that we're undertaking, and hopefully something resonates with them to want to support us for that particular piece of work.
Now, we have to recognise as well the great work that the supermarkets are doing, and the restaurants and the bakers and the cafes in donating food directly to you.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is where there's a number of different organisations. And we have a small group of, well, I shouldn't say small, we have a group of cafes that get food to us that's picked up by a lovely bunch of volunteer cyclists on a daily basis. We excess stock from the night before is picked up in the morning and is delivered into our programs. We also have some really good support from the New World supermarkets and from Fresh Choice in the city, and also from the food bag. And so they all contribute towards enabling us to be able to undertake all the work that we need to with our food bank.
Well, City Missioner Matthew Mark, thanks for joining us this evening. And obviously our best wishes for you to all keep up the good work at the City Mission.
Great. Thank you very much, Nick. You enjoy your evening.
Thank you. You too. Goodbye.